brain that wouldn't die. That was a really weird way to say that. A horror classic from the 50s where everybody smokes, everybody drinks, including the toddlers you see. Because that's how it was in the 50s. And no one wears a seatbelt. Because seatbelts weren't standard on cars yet. Seatbelts didn't become standard on cars till the 90s. Little factoid for you there. It starts out with a doctor losing his patient. And then Bill, our hero, steps in and says, "Let me try it my way on them." And the other doctor, his father, says, it's not right to experiment on human beings. Now, if we didn't experiment on human beings, where would we be? We wouldn't have the Cleveland steamer. We wouldn't have the reverse reach around. We wouldn't have the donkey punch. We wouldn't have half the things we stick up our ass. So, of course, it's right to experiment on human beings. But Bill experiments, and the guy is brought back to life magically. And then they argue again about experimenting on human beings. And Bill gets a call from Kurt after his father leaves, Dr. Kurt, about something going wrong at the country house. So Bill races up there in his convertible, which everyone has in this movie. Everyone has a convertible. I think in the 50s, they just gave convertibles away. Hey, you want a convertible? Have a convertible. Oh, you're 6? Have a convertible. So he races up in his convertible and gets in an accident. He gets thrown from the wreckage, but his fiancée is left in the fiery crash. And Bill takes something in his jacket. It's a chicken. No, it's a baby. No, it's actually her head. No one's going to get that last reference. It's actually her head. And he meets up with Dr. Kurt at the country house, and they revive her head. And Dr. Kurt shows Bill the monster in the closet and says, "Almost broke out." And Bill's like, "Keep it locked. Keep the door shut and keep it locked." Bill's like, "I gotta go find her a body." So he goes to a jazz club and almost picks up a go-go dancer. But one of the other go-go dancers sees him almost pick up the go-go dancer, and so Bill leaves. Because he doesn't want people fingering him for killing a lady and taking her body. Which is probably a smart move by Bill. So then the woman, Bill's fiancée, wakes up and can now communicate with the monster in the closet. And they scare Dr. Kurt. And Dr. Kurt gives his backstory. And they go through ethics again. Ethics. This movie's all about Ethics 101. So if you did not take Ethics 101 in your doctor class, just watch this movie and you'll get a quick lesson on Ethics 101. And then you can go take the test and go just write down the plot to the brain that wouldn't die, and you'll probably fail the test. But your doctor will say your teacher will say you watched a good movie though. But they argue about ethics. And then Bill goes out and picks up a girl on the street named Donna, who's an old friend of his. But before he can take her back and kill her, another girl jumps in his car, which apparently has no back seat. And they go to a beauty contest, where Donna says there's a girl who has an even better body than the people in the beauty contest. So Bill goes and visits her. Meanwhile, at the country house, the monster rips Dr. Kurt's arm off, and black stuff starts coming out. So Dr. Kurt is not filled with blood, he's filled with oil. But don't tell George W. Bush, or else he'll send the army in there to get the oil. Bill meets up with the girl, who is scarred from a previous lover. I'm not sure how you get a V scar from what you get a V scar shape from, but whatever it is, that's what she's got on her cheek. But she hides it with her hair and models because she's got such a beautiful body, which I was actually not that impressed with. But Bill convinced her to go back to his place and then drugs her and is getting ready to take her body, which I think he should have physically took her body to make sure it still worked before taking her body and putting his fiance's head on it. But that's just my opinion. Maybe before the drugging, but after the drugging she would definitely agree to it. But then the monster attacks Bill and rips the door off the closet he's in, and somehow sets fire to the lab. I don't know if he had a cigarette and just dropped it on the floor, and the lab floor is covered in gasoline, or if he had a lighter, or if just Bill's chemicals are just super, super flammable. If they touch anything but the beakers, they automatically catch fire. I mean, I don't know how it worked, but so he knocks out Bill and bites part of his neck off. So Bill's laying there trying to get his wits about him, and the monster steals the girl Bill was about to kill, and the brain that wouldn't die, Bill's fiance, is like, "You should have let me die." And we all assume Bill and the head of his fiance die in the fire, and the monster and the girl got away to get married in Vegas and have the ultimate honeymoon on Joe Rogan. And that is the movie. It is a classic 50s movie. Everybody smokes, everybody drinks. There are no seatbelts in any car. No car has a seatbelt. And it has plenty of arguments about ethics. Now I'm going to give you a health update before I get into. No, I'm going to give you next week's movies, so then you can tune out if you don't want to hear a health update. So next week, we're going to talk about when Kenny Omega joined with Don Callis and originally formed the Elite, not the Elite now, in AEW. And we're going to review the movie Chairman of the Board, starring Carrot Top. I believe it was his only movie he starred in. It was that bad, people. Now for health update, they do not think I have moya moya anymore. Now they think I have hardening of the arteries, which is still a death sentence. But maybe I can figure out some way to, heal like Wolverine, or just get claws. So see you next week.